Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another free pre-market broadcast with the IU team. We do the free one every single Tuesday on YouTube, etc. Wherever you're watching it, hit that retweet, like, whatever it is. It helps us reach more people and means we can deliver more free content. We also do this every single day in IU at exactly the same time of 8:45. Just a disclaimer before we start, this video is for information and education purposes only. These are not buy or sell recommendations. If you're happy with that, then feel free to continue watching. All right, cool. Let's get stuck in.
All right. Thank you, Sam. Good morning, everyone. We have Tuesday, May 6th, and let's just go over a couple of charts that I haven't watched for today. The first one that I'm going to start with is POTR. They had earnings yesterday after the bell. As we can see here, nice little clear out essentially of all-time highs into above this 125s, and then it failed to follow through immediately. Essentially, it just got slammed down. It had a nice attempt there back into the 117s, and then it closed pretty much flat into this 112, 114s range right over here. So today, for me, what I'd like to see is any sort of exhaustion above this level, any sort of exhaustion into the 115s, 116s. Ideally, we open up and then swipe over VWAP. If it fails to follow through and this 112s, 113s areas, etc., gives up, then I'm interested for ideally something like an all-day fade or something like that. If I pull it up on a higher time frame, there's a lot of congestion here around the 110s area. So this low 112s, 110s becomes a key level of interest. And if that fails to follow through today, if it fails to hold, then you can kind of see on the higher time frame there's plenty of room for the chart to go. So POTR, definitely a top watch for me. And it will remain a top watch for a couple of days, surrounding the earnings. The next one that I have on watch is GPUS. And GPUS, they had a nice little move there yesterday. Especially into the close. I mean, it had a nice steady move off the morning, and then around the afternoon, it was essentially just stuck in this dollar and a half range, 7 to 8.5 or so. And then after hours, it had a nice, similar nice little clear out of the previous highs, and then since then it has failed to follow through. For me, what I'm looking for today is ideally, it keeps getting saved into the 556s, and then we see some sort of a swipe into the 758s area, recheck in with this congestion area from yesterday, and then see if we can fail to follow through. Really nice name. So ideally, it has some more left in it. And then the last one that I'm watching today is RGTI. RGTI had a nice little move over the last week there on the daily chart. It had a nice from low 8s to a little bit mid 10s or so, whatever this was, almost 11s, 1090s. So far it's failing to follow through. I like the higher time frame chart. It's it's pretty decent move, pretty decent range still left on it. So if VWAP stays heavy today, I like to be there and then cover and flushes maybe 9s or sub 9s, etc. And with that pretty much completes my list for today. I will go ahead and pass this over to Josh, and I'll see you guys in the room.
Yep. Good morning, everyone. First name that I'm going to have on radar is Baba. It's just been holding extremely well in this market. In the back-to-back tariff headlines that we've experiencing day after day, since early April. And the bounce has been really strong, and it's continuing to hold. And I like that it's getting back above this 50-day moving average. So I'm gonna watch this area, this 126, 67 area, and maybe even a little bit below, just to give it some room. So like 124 to 126. I'm going to be watching dips versus this week. If this wants to continue and it's holding versus VWAP, during the day, I do think that this could keep going. And I'm definitely going to keep this on watch. China has been relatively strong, given all the tariff stuff back and forth. Nvidia, notably, with Apple, one of the weaker mega caps on my board. And the semiconductor space is just kind of struggling. So it had this little 2-day push, Thursday, Friday last week, and is kind of getting to the other side of that, getting back, testing the other side of this declining 50-day moving average. Like on BABA, the 50-day moving average is rising, whereas this 50-day moving average is going the other way. So technically kind of weaker. And I'm going to be looking versus kind of yesterday's highs for a short play, and maybe this continues down for the next couple of days. But I kind of like the setup here, and this is going to be on radar. Pony, these guys had a partnership with Uber regarding their autonomous driving. Nice move from 4 to 11. Little bit of sideways consolidation, try to retest the highs and fail. Now it's kind of gapping up. And if this gets traction, it can kind of be one of those things where liquidity can come in, and people could potentially get trapped, maybe trying to fade this thing down, or just not believe it. It's not that fundamentally sound of a company. So these sometimes go further than you think. So I'm going to be watching this this morning. Last one. This is fundamentally pretty broken company, but sometimes these do get legs, especially they have earnings. The guidance, the EPS and guidance, kind of beat that of the street. The stock's been demolished and has kind of gone nowhere. But I'm going to be watching this over the next couple of days. If it can't have kind of like a cigar butt 1 or 2 day move, nothing I'm forcing, but I'm going to be watching. Going to be watching versus 1380, 14 today, and see how we hold. And just given just going over the macro for the past couple of days, like SPY had this 9-day move up. That was like a historic rise, and now we're just kind of in a little 2-day pullback. So I want to see how we hold here on the indices. And then I'll go to stock selection from there. But I would like to see, the 50-day hold up on the Qs, which is 473, and then on the SPY, which is 555. I would like to see both of these areas hold if my long ideas, are going to have some potential to work. And if we kind of break below and keep going below, I expect a lot of resistance and any type of momentum longs to be a harder trade than maybe a fader setup. So that's all for me this morning, and I will pass this to Amir.
Yeah, I'm here. Morning, everyone. I'm going to watch PAT like most rest of us this morning. And since kind of rejected all-time highs, I'm leaning towards, and obviously they had not so great numbers out. I'm going to be interested in shorting pretty much any push or grind towards 118 area, mostly because there is some sort of resistance there. against this level. So any morning swipe, push, shove there, I am going to watch. Any rejection, not going to be trying to be the first in, most likely going to wait. I really want to see that area stuffing, and then I'm going to be interested in getting a short there. Tesla, another name I'm watching. I like this, since the market is gapping down, I will be interested to see some sort of absorption at some stage. And if this one, it's going to have a washout and then soaking and then reclaiming these levels, yesterday's lows, I am going to be interested in trading a bounce there. Overall trend, doesn't look right now that it's too healthy, but thinking maybe if this area is going to soak, might build up this flag for a while now. So we shall see how this one is going to behave. But if overall market it's going to get some strength later in the morning, this one might be a decent one candidate for a long trade. MRAN. This is one of the early gappers this morning. I like this fade so far, but still out of the gate, I would really like to see some swipe towards 170. Either way, I'm going to be interested in shorting this name, but taking 2 as a risk. So even if it's going to swipe higher or it's starting to stuff here, I'm going to dabble some. And then if it's going to stay heavy, pile in more, then trade based around these levels. As we can see lately, we have all these, squeezer left and right. So not looking to hold too long, and mostly recycle and build some cushion, and we shall see if it's going to stay heavy later in the day. FOXO, another name I'm watching, already up quite a lot. So this is something that I like for, some early swipes, and then see if it's going to fail for a short, giving the range. There is plenty of meat on the bone, but also not looking to be the first in. So far, we have something to base our risk off, but still leaving room way higher. 250-ish is something that I'm having in mind. So we shall see if it's going to, blow off and stuff, or it's just going to be resilient like, GPUS we had yesterday. And by the way, GPUS, more or less same plan like Stan had. I like that it's having this weak open, but still, in order to be interested in getting involved, I would really like to see a push towards red to green and some stuffy action against that area. So pretty much that's it for me today, guys. Thanks for attending, and I'm passing it over to Sam.
Fantastic. Thank you, gents. Great watch list as always. Just as I said at the start, if you are interested in joining Investors Underground, we do this every single day at 8:45. Check us out at investorsunderground.com, or you can contact me. My contact details are on the they're on the screen now. So thank you very much for joining us. Trade them well today, guys, and we will see you all